You'll have to excuse my hair. Obviously, quarantine, I haven't been able to have a haircut in like a month and a half. So if you guys are anything like me, during this quarantine, you might have put on a bit of weight. You might have thought like, oh, I want to do exercise, but I don't really want to go outside, you know, do a run. Maybe the weather wasn't too great where you were, anything like that. But then you thought, maybe there's something that I can do at home to help me keep fit, maybe stay in shape a little bit. Maybe look to getting some weights and doing some weightlifting or something like that. Or maybe you have a treadmill, or you can do some more cardiovascular activities. But if you're anything like me, you own one of these. This is a VR headset. And for those who don't know, with VR headsets, you put on a headset and hold controllers and you can see and be inside the game. Now, there are lots of games for VR, ranging from first-person shooters to online MMOs, anything's game. But some of these games can be used for physical activity. So I thought, why don't I try and make a fitness routine based around using VR headsets that you can do an hour, 2 hours, maybe a day, either at the beginning or the end, or maybe at some point midway through the day, to help you keep a bit in shape. Now, I'm going to be basing my routine off of 3 games that I play fairly often, almost every day, to help keep a bit in shape. These games are 11's Table Tennis, Beatsaber, and Pistol Whip. Now, these 3 games are all fairly different, 2 of which being rhythm games and 1 of them being a sports game. But I think they all have their own benefits to being used in this way as a way of exercise. And starting off, the first game that you should play for your fitness routine as a warm-up would be 11's Table Tennis. Now, this game's really great. I really love playing this game. It's a lot of fun. It's the most realistic table tennis ping pong game that I've found for VR. The physics on it are really great, and you can play it multiplayer, you can play it single player. There's ranging difficulties, there's mini games, there's lots to do. So I would say the first thing you do, load up 11's Table Tennis and just start playing. If you've obviously never played the game before, then I would recommend maybe starting with single player, or maybe some of the mini games. Just go into mini games and then go down to free play maybe, and that'll give you a lot of chance to mess around with the ball. There's no like points, you've not got to worry about changing serves or anything, and that'll make it a bit easier when you're starting off. But once you're sort of a bit more experienced, either try multiplayer if there's people online. Sometimes you won't be able to find anyone to play with, or jump into the single player and maybe start at a semi-pro or a semi-amateur level and just do that for maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I end up playing normally for about an hour just because I really enjoy playing the game. And if you want to get the most out of the exercise aspect, don't just sit there with your controller and just go boom, boom, boom. It might look silly to anyone you live with or anyone about, but it really will be the best for an exercise. For the second game, I always go on to Beatsaber. Now, this game is basically Guitar Hero. It's a rhythm game with lightsabers. That's the easiest way of explaining it. And this game is so much fun. I've been loving playing this game recently. I first played it when I went to my local game in Bristol, where they have a big gaming section where you can go in, you can pay to play for an hour, and they had VR headsets. And one of the games available was Beatsaber. So I went there, I played it, and I thought, oh, this is amazing. And that's what made me eventually go on and buy my VR headset so I could later play in the comfort of my own home. Now, Beatsaber has lots of ranging difficulties, and this is where I will bring up one of the downsides I do think Beatsaber has, is once you've been playing for a little bit, you might go up to hard difficulty, and you're playing and you get up to speed where you can do most of the songs on hard, and it's fairly easy. I'd say it's not too bad. I jumped in maybe 2-3 days after playing, and I was able to play hard difficulty pretty well. And I tried to play a song on expert, and the jump in difficulty from hard to expert on some songs is unbelievable. It would go from the point where I was able to do the hard levels pretty much without missing a single block, without missing anything, without hitting the wrong thing, doing the wrong direction. And then I would play an expert level and I'd fail in the first maybe 30 seconds of the song. I would just end up hitting something, like hitting a whole combo the wrong way and messing up, or I'd end up just not being fast enough. And that's one flaw with the game. So if you're new to the game, just work through progression. There's a campaign that you can work through that starts you off on easy songs, then goes to medium, then goes to hard, then expert. So I'd recommend doing that maybe if you're not fully comfortable with the game. But if you are, then just jump in and do some Beat Saber for a bit. It's a lot of fun. A lot of people play it in their free time, so I would recommend people do that. And then for the final game is Pistol Whip. So Pistol Whip is personally one of my favorite VR games, and I first originally found it from the YouTube channel Omoti, which is a YouTube channel I just happened to find when I was looking for VR games and just looking randomly at VR gameplay on YouTube. And they do a lot of Beat Saber, they do a lot of Pistol Whip, they do a lot of rhythm games. And so I saw them playing this game and I thought, oh, this looks fucking sick. Because it's basically a mix of Beat Saber and guns. So in Pistol Whip, the aim is it automatically walks you forward, and you've got to shoot people as they appear, and you've got to try and do it in rhythm with the music that's going on in the background. They range in difficulties and they all have their own difficulty settings. You have customizable guns, you have all this different stuff. It's really cool. And this one I would recommend doing last, because personally, at least, I find this to be the most intensive workout out of all of them. I normally have to have a lie down after playing, and my legs and my back tend to hurt quite a lot after playing, just from doing utter matrix dodges constantly, because I am really bad at reacting to shots. So I'm usually whipping my back and like crouching to the floor as quickly as possible at the very last second. But this game is by far the most fun that I've found, and I end up usually playing it for like an hour or two, and I'm normally caked in sweat by the end of it. So that one's a really good calorie burner that I would say you can definitely add onto the end of your gameplay. And obviously, doing this for exercise, it's not really gonna help you build muscle. It's not really gonna help you burn all of the calories from whatever you're eating. I know a lot of people, because they'll have more free time being at home, they may be cooking much more nutritious meals. Maybe they got a lot more calories in them and stuff like that. But it's a good way for people who aren't doing really any exercise, and just because they don't really want to go outside and go on a run, or they don't really own weights, or they don't want to lift weights, then it's a brilliant way just to make sure that you're not doing nothing, and at the end of this quarantine you're not going to be able to walk properly. And you can also incorporate it into other exercises to maybe make your workouts from home a bit more fun. So you could lift weights afterwards or beforehand, just then so you've got a bit of weight training. Maybe you're building a bit of muscle on top of doing this little bit of calorie burning. I'd be interested to see how many calories you can actually burn playing this, but sadly I don't own anything that would be able to show me how many calories I'd lose after a session. I don't have anything like an Apple or another Android watch that shows how many calories you've burnt. I don't own any other systems, so the best way I could do it would be by checking my weight, but I don't own any scales, so I personally can't check how effective this is. But I'd be really interested if anyone could see what effect this actually has, and I think it would actually be a pretty good workout for being at home. So that about does it for this video. Thank you to everyone who watched to the end. I would really appreciate if you subscribe to the channel. I'm hoping to post more YouTube content each week. I also stream every week on Twitch. I usually play during the weekdays and the weekends, and sometimes we play VR games, so I'd really appreciate it if you checked me out on there and hit that follow. And that about does it for this video. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. See ya. I think I said slightly less in this one.